It's finally time to build a main plaza and some restaurants for our Jurassic Valley. While I am not the biggest fan of building stuff like this, I had to eventually do it and I am quite pleased with how it all has turned out. So join me as we add a couple of new buildings to our park. Hello guys, this is Caesar Creates and welcome back to my channel. Today we are finally back in Jurassic Valley in Jurassic World Evolution 3, where we'll finally add our main plaza, the entrance plaza if you will, to our park. So in today's episode you can expect to see me build some restaurants, buildings, toilets, add some statues, different paths and benches, tables and all this stuff to our park. We'll basically finally connect the entrance that we've built in the first episode of this series to the rest of the park, to the habitats that we've built so far in this series. Basically, when I started the series, I wanted to start it with an entrance, as you normally do, but then I didn't want to bore you guys with adding more buildings in the next episodes after the first one. So in the second episode of this series, we already added our first enclosure and our first dinosaurs, and in the next episodes we did that as well. So right now we had the entrance and a couple of different enclosures in this series, in this park, and today I finally decided to fill this gap, as I promised you guys in the last episode, between the entrance and the habitats, and build some guest facilities, guest buildings, and this is what you will see today. So a little disclaimer, no new dinosaurs today, this will just be building. I hope that you guys will still be interested in that. Basically, again, I'll be using all my experience with the modular building system from years of playing in Planet Zoo to build something nice in Jurassic World Evolution 3. I'm so sorry that you guys had to wait a bit for this next episode of this series. I saw comments asking when it will be released. I just had again, very busy time. I had some traveling to do and other videos that I wanted to release. But yeah, we are now here back finally, and today it's a big episode. I actually cut out so much of the speed build, like the original speed build. So the sped up video was 1.5 hours, I think, so it was a lot of hours of building for this one. It mainly comes to the fact that we'll have a lot of different buildings, and to me, building buildings takes a lot of time in this game for some reason. I'm much quicker with the habitats and with the natural parts of the enclosures than just building buildings. So as you guys know, this whole park is sort of inspired by real zoos. So my idea is to build something like a zoo with dinosaurs, so a lot of different enclosures in this park will be inspired by the enclosures in real zoos. And this is the approach that I wanted to also keep for this main plaza. I didn't want to build like a huge grand main street like you had, for example, in Jurassic World. I just wanted to add a couple of buildings like you normally will see when you enter the zoo. So there is normally like a restaurant or two, there's a gift shop, there's maybe a toilet building, and that's all. Of course, we are still building in Jurassic World Evolution 3, which means that the scale of things is kind of very big. So all the buildings are very big when it comes to the amenities. Even the smallest one is still very big. So I had to keep that all in mind when I was designing this area, basically. So firstly, I decided to go for something like kind of generic, kind of like in a modern style without any theming, just like our entrance. So this was just two buildings that the guests will see after entering the zoo or the park. And this is what you can see me build right now. This restaurant is actually heavily inspired by a restaurant from one of my favorite zoos, the Prague Zoo. It is called a Gaston restaurant, if I am correct, and it is one of the newer restaurants in that zoo. A very beautiful building, and I decided to sort of try and recreate it in Jurassic World Evolution 3 because I just thought that it would be perfect, and I actually have the pieces to build something very similar to that restaurant. In this game, as I told you guys, I won't be building interiors for most of the buildings, so for those restaurants I also won't be building interiors. That's why I use this non-transparent glass for the facade of this building. I also use the stone walls on the facade of this building, and I really like this juxtaposition of the very modern glass and this stone used on the facade of the building, and this kind of like an overhanging roof that also kind of acts like a shade structure or protection from the rain for people who will be enjoying their meals just sitting outside of this restaurant on this small terrace that is like surrounding it. I'll add some chairs and some benches with the guests. This is actually so cool about this game that you can add the chairs, for example, and the guests will appear on those chairs even though you'll place them, I don't know, on the roof or somewhere inside of the dino enclosure. The guests will still spawn in there. I really like it, and I really wish that we had something like this in Planet Zoo. Right now you can see me build those roof supports, and I will also focus a lot on this roof in general, because the roofs is something that you see a lot while playing this game. You see everything from above, so to make your park nice, I think that you should pay a bit more attention to the roofs. So I decided to build a planted roof for those buildings. So there will be, of course, lawn, some grasses. I also added some decals to make it look a bit dirty. There will be a skylight in there and a lot of those air conditioning things and a lot of ventilation, so it all looks kind of realistic. In here I'm going for this like semi-realistic style of buildings. I, for example, didn't decorate or did anything at all when it comes to the back of those buildings where the guests or we won't see them during, for example, the tours that I will do in this park. I didn't pay any attention to that. In Planet Zoo I probably would do something, but yeah, I decided that for sake of, for example, performance in this big park, because this is a huge map, I won't be building things that you won't be seeing anyway. So yeah, this is the first building. The second one will be kind of almost the same, because I will just build like a mirrored version of this building and put it on the other side of our like entrance plaza. I kind of didn't realize that it would take so much time to build a mirrored version of this. I had to move every piece individually. Of course, you won't see that on the recording because I just cut out all of it, because this is basically the same building but sort of like, you know, mirrored, so nothing very interesting. And yeah, I almost forgot to mention, because I know that you guys will be asking, so most of the buildings that I will build for this plaza will be in the workshop. So I will put like the codes in the pinned comment under this video, so if you like to use them in your parks, you are very welcome to do so. So after I'll be done with those buildings, I'll also build two big planters for our little entrance plaza. I wanted to make it really green. I was sort of inspired by Birmingham Zoo. They have sort of like a very similar planters in their entrance plaza, but they have some fountains in them. Unfortunately, in this game you cannot place water like in any sort of elevated form. You can only dig out those huge lakes, so this didn't work for our little entrance plaza. So I just did some planters, but I still really like them. And in the middle of this big plaza we'll also have a Triceratops statue, like there'll be a family of Triceratops. I just wanted to have something for the guests to take photos with, to just, you know, have some souvenir from our park. There's in many zoos you have those statues somewhere next to the entrance. In San Diego Zoo there's this huge lion, for example, and I also have a photo in front of this lion. So it is always so nice to give our guests some photo opportunities in this park, so then they will have some souvenirs and they can, you know, have some memories, nice memories from visiting our park. Of course, if those digital models had any memory, probably they don't, but yeah, let's just use our imagination. So our whole like entrance plaza will be very symmetrical. It will be like an almost perfect circle. With those two planters on the sides. They kind of look like kidneys now that I look at them. We'll have this Triceratops in the middle. You guys will see then after I will add some circles on the ground to make this plaza a bit more interesting, and I will also add some like kind of like lines or rays coming out of the middle of this plaza. I just had this idea, I don't know why, and it kind of looks really cool when it will all be done. And yeah, this is our kind of like modern and generally part of this whole entrance thing. And after that, as you guys probably remember, if you've watched the previous episodes of this series, we are sort of building like an Asian section of our zoo. So we are right now adding only Asian animals to this park. So I also had to make like a little entrance to our transition to the Asian area. So this is what we'll do after we'll be finished with this whole plaza here. We'll build like a little gate with the Asia sign and start to theme this area so that our guests will know that they are actually entering the Asian part of the zoo. And believe me or not, but this thing was much more challenging to me than building this whole modern style plaza, because this is something that I know very well from years of playing Planet Zoo. I know this style. I kind of also know those pieces because they are very similar in that game. And themed Asian thing is very new to me, so I had to do some research. I was looking for inspiration for some Japanese style buildings because I believe that those pieces that are sort of like an Asian theme in Jurassic World Evolution 3 are in fact more Japanese styled architecture. So I looked at a lot of inspiration and I came up with a very big building that will be a restaurant, and that you will see me starting to build shortly. This building took me so long, but I love how it has turned out. It will also be in workshop for you guys to download if you want to use it in your own parks. There's a small restaurant inside and there's a lot of tables around so the guests also can use it. This will probably be like an Asian restaurant or a sushi restaurant, something like this. And yeah, I really love how it has turned out. When it comes to this whole Asian section, there will be a lot of bamboo, of course. There will be those Zen gardens as well. I added some fountains, and I also added a toilet because I just thought that, you know, we'll need to have a toilet somewhere in this whole entrance area. And in there, I actually used a blueprint that was created by Frontier. That was the last thing I added, and I just decided, okay, I've built so many buildings and so many things, and it took me so long when it comes to this whole area that I will just plop down this building. This building and this blueprint looks just amazing. So I just thought, okay, it just suits so well. I just changed the colors of it a bit to match the buildings that we already have in here, and in the end I think that it looks fantastic. So this one won't be around the workshop. You can just, you know, place it in your own parks because it was provided by Frontier. If you have this game, you basically have this blueprint like installed by default, so you can always place it in your parks. I wanted to take a second to also talk about the upcoming DLC for this game. We know that the Steam database has been uploaded, so there is something coming for sure. We still don't know yet, at least at the time when I'm recording this voiceover. So I am actually recording it a couple of days before this video will be released. So I hope that there won't be any news before I will upload this video, because it could be a bit awkward. But yeah, I'm so eager for some news when it comes to this game. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. I think that this DLC might be something bigger. We've been waiting for it for quite some time. I don't know, I have this feeling that this will be actually the rebirth DLC, so we can expect a bigger pack, I think, with all the movie dinos and very, like, I hope very interesting building theme as well. I already need to think about some ideas for this park when it comes to this potential DLC. We'll see what I will do. But yeah, very excited, and I really hope that we will hear something new about this game very soon. And definitely let me know down in the comments what you guys think the next DLC will be. The Chaos Fury DLC would also be nice, so I'm very excited for this and really cannot wait. I'm also very excited that we finally have this entrance plaza in our park. It kind of feels more like complete. It always felt a bit weird that there's no connection between the entrance and the rest of the park. And right now we have it, and we can continue working on our Asian area. Right now it is a bit more framed, so I know where I can place the habitats without any like disruption when it comes to this entrance area. In the next episode I actually have already a little idea for it. So when you will see the whole Asian restaurant finished, you will see that the guests from this little terrace where the tables will be, we'll have this view, like basically we'll have this empty space behind the building. So I really want to add a habitat in there. It will be between the restaurant and the Dino-Kairos enclosure. So probably a herbivore, I think, we'll see, but something will definitely go there. I will probably do it in the next episode, and then we'll focus actually on the right side. So there's this whole area on the right side of the entrance that I want to build in there, and I have this whole idea to build some indoor enclosures. So I will do probably like a big building in there, and there will be some indoor and outdoor enclosures for some maybe smaller dinos, maybe bigger dinos, we'll see. I also really want to build like a mixed herbivore enclosure somewhere, and I finally want to add also some bigger carnivores. So this is that plan for the next episodes. I really cannot wait to start building, because I'm for some reason very hyped for this series. The videos are doing so well when it comes to this series. I am so surprised and also so grateful to you guys that you enjoy it and you like those my creations in here, because it is so rewarding. I was so a bit like curious to see if this style will work for this game, if you guys will like it, because normally dino enclosures are very grand and enormous, and there is some crazy theming or very something over the top. And in here we are just simply creating like a realistic zoo that happens to have dinos. And I didn't know if this will, resonate with you guys, but apparently you guys love it. So I'm so happy and so grateful for all the comments, all the views, all the likes. You guys are just the best. And of course, if you are watching this video and you haven't liked it or haven't commented under it, you are very welcome to do so. It really helps out the videos a lot. YouTube simply shows that you care and you like them, and it shows it to other people, and also helps out the channel in general. So I'm very grateful for all the little clicks that you do under the videos. They are very helpful to me. As you guys can see, I'm still working on this Japanese restaurant. It was kind of a lot of work, but also, as I told you already, something new to me, but I really like how it has turned out. I really want to explore more when it comes to this style of this architecture in this part of the park. Again, I decided not to place too many different restaurants in this entrance plaza, because I was inspired by real zoos, but also real zoos have a lot of restaurants that are scattered around the whole zoo. So this is also my idea. Those will definitely not be the last restaurants in the whole like Asian section of this park. We'll also have some more somewhere like scattered and incorporated in some other areas. So this is something that you can expect also. I'll try to add some things. I also have an idea to build like a playground for kids. Something of course also really popular in zoos. And I didn't see a lot of people build something like this. Probably now that I told you about this, someone will build it, but I am totally okay with that. I feel like I'm so rusty when it comes to this voiceover today. I don't know what happens, but yeah, my brain isn't working the way it used to. But I hope you guys are still enjoying this video. Basically, my voiceover style is kind of different than a lot of different content creators. I noticed that most people just, talk about the things that are happening on the screen, and I cannot do it because this is too much for me. I'm just getting distracted and I'm, making stupid mistakes, and just the videos are just not interesting enough for me. So I sort of like, go and talk, and then I randomly check what is going on. Like for example, when I'm talking for, I don't know, 12 minutes, I will go to the Speedbuild, check what is going on the 12th minute of the Speedbuild, and then sort of describe what's already happened in the video, and this works for me. So I'm glad that you guys kind of, I think, like it, judging by the views, but maybe you don't. You can also tell me in the comments. The Speedbuild part will actually end with me finishing this restaurant, this Japanese restaurant, but I will also add some new things, like I told you about this toilet building. I will add some fountains, some bamboo pieces and other things, but you will see all that in the cinematic shots that will start very soon, so stay tuned for that. If you like to see the whole entire finished section, finished plaza, I am very, very excited to show you guys everything because I just love how it has turned out. Our Jurassic Valley finally has the entrance plaza. Even though I prefer to build habitats over buildings, I still really enjoyed coming up with all of this. I really like those modern restaurants. I think that I went for a perfect inspiration from the Prague Zoo. I of course wanted to include some outdoor seating, so those little terraces that we have around those restaurants look very cool, and I am glad that from time to time you can actually see people sitting there. It looks so good. The plaza itself is quite simple but still decorated. I wanted to have a big centerpiece in the middle for the guests to take some photos, to have some memories. So we have this Triceratops family in the middle. We also have some planters and some decorations on the actual path. Also some different fences. And I also added these statues of the dinos like somewhere in the foliage next to the plaza. So there's something interesting going on in the distance. Besides this part of the plaza, we also have the Asian part. So I created this Japanese-inspired building that is a Japanese or an Asian restaurant. We also added a toilet and some Asian-inspired decorations. And this is the beginning or the introduction to our Asian section of our park. We of course have several Asian dinos already in our park. So this was meant to be just the entrance to the Asian area. Okay guys, this is all that I have for you today. I really hope you enjoyed this one. Again, I feel better when I am building some habitats for the dinos than just building buildings. I hope that this video will do as good as the others one did, even though we don't have any dinos in it. Yeah, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Ring the bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. Give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and also leave me a comment under this video and tell me what you think about our new main plaza in the Jurassic Valley. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye guys!